Number 1. Chakwera did not honor the power-sharing deal to hand over the presidency to SKC after the first term. He announced that he was running again before SKC passed away. Many people will never forget that. So to be clear, he would not have been able to win without the support of UTM and the late Saulos Klaus Chilima. Here is a reminder of what the power-sharing agreement was supposed to be.
The Malawi Congress Party and the UTM agreed to be equal partners. In the pre-election contest, the following was agreed, among others: that the presidents of the Malawi Congress Party and the UTM shall agree in writing who would be candidate and who would be running mate. 2, that subject to the decision of the National Executive Committees or conventions, as the case may be, of the UTM and the Malawi Congress Party, the presidential candidate during the fresh elections of June 2020 shall not be the presidential candidate during the immediate next election and shall cede the candidacy to the running mate in the fresh presidential elections of 20 June 2020. Beyond this, I would like to state that the agreement was signed for a period of 10 years in which both Dr. Chakwera and I would support one another to lead one term.
Number 2, let me remind you of what they promised in their manifesto. 1. Creation of 1 million jobs. 2. Affordable fertilizer. 3. 3 meals a day to promote food security and ensuring that every Malawian has access to sufficient nutrition. 4. Social welfare programs with initiatives like 15,000 kwacha for the elderly and 14,000 kwacha for passports to support vulnerable populations. 5. Mega farms, establishing large-scale farms to enhance agricultural output and support the economy. Where are all the projects that were promised in the Tonse Alliance Manifesto? And honestly, what is the reach and impact to the lives of Malawians? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's move on to the economy. Economic strain, with difficulties in financing essential services and development projects. Increased borrowing. Malawi had to rely more on domestic borrowing, which put pressure on interest rates and made the country's debt situation worse. So the consequence of that is higher inflation and higher cost of living for ordinary Malawians. Exchange rate volatility. The country faced exchange rate volatility as it struggled to secure foreign currency, impacting imports and overall economic stability. To put it simply, there isn't enough funding for social programs and services which could benefit vulnerable groups who are dealing with worsening poverty and inequality. Let me just summarize his presidency by acknowledging the fact that Chakwera's government has had to deal with big global events like the COVID pandemic, the Russia and Ukraine war, the effects of climate change, and the economic effects of other conflicts around the world. Number 3. Alleged nepotism and favoritism. Here are some of the relatives and close allies that he has appointed to key government positions. In July 2021, his daughter Violet Chakwera was appointed as a personal assistant to the First Lady, Monica Chakwera. Then a position as First Secretary responsible for investments in the Malawi High Commission in the UK in 2022, without any prior diplomatic experience. Sean Kampondeni, his son-in-law, was appointed as the Director of Communication at the State House, as well as the President's Executive Assistant and Speechwriter. There are some allegations of nepotism that have surfaced regarding contracts awarded to companies connected to high-ranking officials and their relatives. Cabinet appointments concerns. Early on, there were some frustrations regarding the distribution of cabinet positions. Members of the UTM felt that their representation was not as strong as they had hoped, which led to some early tensions within the coalition. Vice President Saulos Chilima's removal. Chakwera's decision to remove Vice President Saulos Chilima from his ministerial role caused a big rift in the alliance and between him and the president. Many saw it as a move that reduced his influence. This was followed by corruption charges against Chilima, which further complicated the relationship within the coalition. The lack of clear evidence, along with the perception that the charges were politically motivated, made the situation even more delicate, leaving Chilima in a more vulnerable position. Before he passed, there were rumors that he would run against MCP. Unfortunately, SKC passed on in suspicious circumstances a few weeks after the charges against him were dropped. Eventually, UTM chose to part with the coalition, citing issues like a lack of communication and unresolved differences with the Malawi Congress Party. This marked the end of the coalition partnership. Chakwera is not a strong leader. He may be a good and kind man, but he doesn't command the kind of authority that the leader of a country such as Malawi should have. His personality has led to public officials doing as they please, knowing that the consequences won't be dire. His background and pastoral leadership makes him a good communicator, but unfortunately, actions speak louder than words. If you approve of our content, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any upcoming content. I've been your host, Brendan, from M-Dubz Report. Until the next time, Zikomu.